Okay, back to the hamlet area we go. That's an interesting cloud of stink. Is that earth ether? I mean, it kind of looks like Titan's ether, right? I almost said it kind of looks like what comes out of Titan's crack. I regret nothing. I mean, it's not wrong though. Maybe more than one. He is Lord of Crags, after all, in the plural. It's got a lot of cracks. One of my favorite things to this day, no joke, is to go into Titan Extreme and do it with a bunch of newbies. Or if I'm doing Mentor Roulette and it pops up and just tell everybody, get in Titan's butt. Get in his butt. You need to be in his butt crack. I feel like it's just a good welcome to the realm of Final Fantasy XIV and the wonders contained within, you know what I mean? It feels very appropriate to me to welcome in new people with that, just so they have an idea. In order to protect the secrets of the Central Circuit, the researchers must navigate a bewildering maze of paperwork before they are permitted to return to the surface. I suppose it's no different than any other aspect of Sharlayan society. We do love our bureaucracy. It's very much a mirror of the city above, which is perhaps how it came to be called Sharlayan Hamlet. What a quaint little settlement this is. A shame it is hidden underground. I don't mind a bit of heavy lifting, but I draw the line at paperwork. So much as wave a sheaf of documents at me and I'll put my lance through it. Big say, Mystinian. That's why I make my partner do our taxes. I don't make them. They volunteer because they know I don't like it. Which is really the mark of someone who supports and cares for you. As surprised as I was to learn the foreign plan to send everyone to the moon, I can't imagine how the common folk must feel about it. Do my senses deceive me? In the shadow of yon corner, one can but hope this leadeth not to mischievous undertakings. In what shadowed corner? Like, Feoul? Or one of the buns? Or one of our little bun friends, our Loporrits? I wonder. Okay. From what I can tell, a lot of the people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scarlark Monteshane mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting in anyone's way. I hope this little side quest does not take that long, because I want to keep going real bad. Let's meet by the Aetheryte once our work is done. The thing is, though, is that I know I will appreciate every tiny tidbit of lore that they give me here. I know that I will. You call these documents research? They're not even worth wiping the privy floor with. That's rude. This poor man. Buddy, you're doing great. Don't listen to him. Also, you're very beautiful, and I like your color scheme. Don't let other people tear you down. Okay, we need to find somebody who needs our help. I'm glad it's Steady Current, because I actually really like that name. Helping with Dark. Even with all the power Master Coco's managed to squeeze out of the ether burner, it's still not enough, apparently. And now I hear the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. If only we'd begun the exodus sooner. People are dying, and there'll be no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. But we will. We've spent years preparing for this moment. Believe in the plan, and all will be well. Steady Current, you can carry me on your current any day. Woohoo, more people. Silken Grin? What are these gifts of Rugadin names in here? Oh, hello. Are you one of the new helpers? Gosh, she's beautiful too! Working on the ether burner? Oh dear. I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I'd choose that over my current duties. Checking and loading samples day in, day out. It's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The forum's got enough on their plate as it is, what with deciding who gets to board the Ark and when. Lot of powerful people have opinions about that. My heart goes out to Master Fortuno and the others. Hardly get a moment's rest, I expect. Do they even have time to sleep? Silken Grin, you can also. You know what? We've recruited some great Rugadins here this day. I will gladly float on the currents, but I will also gladly look at your beautiful Silken Grin. Final Fantasy XIV dating simulator when? I would take it as a mobile game. I'd probably spend too much money on it, so let's best hope they never turned it into a gacha, because it would be over and I would have been gacha'd. It would have gotten me. Offering to help? Ah, that's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of the documents myself. It's mostly lists of the things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear that our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous looming giants. Why, I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like that behatted rabbit that ran by. Well, girl, do I have some good news for you, because that's exactly what they are. And Heidelin thought ahead on that one, so... Okay, we talked to a lot of people. Is there anyone that we can help? It seems like every single person so far has been like, nah, I'm good. Here we are. It would appear the Loporrits have infiltrated Sharlayan's most heavily guarded facility. How? I know not. Well done, little buddies. What joy to sample the delights of theories. How marvelous it is to see you again. You'll be pleased to hear I've learned much since our fascinating discussion at the Caratorium. It's all thanks to Urianger, you see. He's taught me the finer points of cooking, which, despite my name, I knew very little about. So many dishes, so many hard-to-pronounce words. Actually, I was rather hoping he'd show me how to bake an Archon loaf. They're quite popular, I hear, though it doesn't sound like it contains any flavor to speak of. Still, if that's the sort of thing your kind enjoys, I shall make enough to last the whole journey. Oh no! The Sharlayans will love it, but everybody else will be suffering. Please learn from some of the Thavnairian refugees, I beg you. What voice did I give Growing? Yes, okay, I got it. Growingway is my good boy. We took a walk together. Crikey, I wasn't expecting to see you here, Valka. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to say goodbye, and for, having those other Loporrits attack you. It's a terrible misunderstanding, that. Not to worry, though, as all have since recovered from the rather savage beating you administered. They bear you no ill will. Well, perhaps a little on account of the savagery, but time heals all wounds. Well, most, anyway. You done shouldn't have attacked me! Fancy meeting you here, Valka. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is the theories itself, though we now find ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Urianger and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? Yes, okay, no, I'm on board again. I'm on board again. Anytime I get to spend time with my tiny rabbit children. Like, just look. Look at the children I have. Look at them! You know, Valka's not very motherly, but I do love these tiny buns very much. Try as he may, Urianger can't free himself of the Loporrits. A tour of Labyrinthos. An unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestway's burrow, 'twould be in our best interest to have the Loporrit acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Sharlayan collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspectives. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture.
What a marvelous idea! Might we begin with that great big what's-it over yonder?
Ah, yes, the what's-it. I shall leave its explanation to Valka. I'm gonna do a great description of the what's-it. You just watch me. I am an expert on what's-it and whatchamacallits. And who's it's? Oh, is it this thing? Oh, I don't know what that is. I don't got any idea. Fake cloud? I don't know.
My word! What magnificent architecture! Such immaculate curvature! I'll have to make several adjustments to my work if I'm to match this degree of craftsmanship. I shall leave no corner unrounded.
Yes, okay, hold on. I was like, wait, 1 second. Who am I talking to right now?
Considering Singingway and Growingway specialties, I expect them to pay full attention to your explanations, which I am sure will be most informative. This is all very intriguing, I'm sure, but where are the food preparation stations? The, what was your word for it? Kitchens? That reminds me, Puddingway, our newly appointed chief of pudding research, a discipline he himself founded after sampling Urianger's delights, has gone in search of Etheris' ultimate street treat. Well, provided it's a pudding, as that's all he ever talks about these days. Have you seen him?
I was like, did Urianger have anything more? That was me wondering, too, if I should go run down towards these buildings and see if any of the NPCs have lore about what they are so that I can make sure I answer them correctly. The Loporrit's technological expertise doth far outstrip our own. We would be wise to allow them to form their own conclusions as to the function of the various apparatus, rather than offer uninformed suppositions of our own. Unless, that is, unbeknownst to me, thou art possessed of surpassing knowledge concerning the construction and operation of advanced Sharlayan... what's-its? Well, let me go see! What do they want to know about? Down here? I'll figure it out. Did Poultice tell me anything about this? We did talk to her. Wonder how Rabbit got here. Nope, you're useless. You're useless, Poultice. What are you even doing down here? You even doing work?
Goodness me! To build something so large without creation magics is positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features.
Alright, I'm ready. Search the apparatus for points of potential interest. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Aha! What looks... Oh, it's this building. I see. Tanks. Check out the tanks.
It's a little hard to see from here, but is that a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? And I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. Oh, this must be for purifying water drawn up from below.
Yeah, that's totally what it is. You got it. See, you don't even need my help. It's the baby. Or maybe one of the descendants of the baby. Oh, I'm so glad I zoomed in this close. You spot an ambystoma, an especially lively one at that. It would appear that the concept you observed in another time, another place, was approved for life in the wider world. Somehow. What do you mean somehow? It's perfect. It's flawless, baby. Big wheel? Big wheel seems like something to be interested in, but apparently not. Metallic tube.
Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? It must be because of these cogs and that gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they draw up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too.
Okay, what else? Mushroom-like thing. Yeah, this is about the extent of my personal knowledge on this, so it works out.
That looks like the trees in Great Ascend's Vale. Hold on. That's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. Now it makes sense. That's where they store the water.
Observe the mushroom-like thing. These are all the scientific terms. I went to college, so...
Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it! A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install it, even in the harshest of environments. For us Loporrits, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that peoples of Etheres sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive?
Areas near waterfalls are common sites. Many settlements in Danelin are built near an oasis. Both are really good examples. I think I'm gonna go for this one. Many settlements in Thanalan are built near oases.
So, wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we had anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order, once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place.
Master Alfino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Loporrits will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel.
Oh, yes! That sounds absolutely splendid!
We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Sharlayan Hamlet. I shall lead the way.
You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We could not help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of this settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think what would have become of us.
Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big nasty teeth, Loporrits may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. I really like how much fun Urianger has with their language. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as escort to Livingway and Cookingway. I entrust Singingway and Growingway to thy care. I will make sure that my little bunny children do not die. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. This is basically just Valka and Urianger babysit some rabbits. That's like pretty much what's happening right now.
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beastie. Come along, Growingway, to the water extract and what's it?
It is kind of amazing that they are so technologically advanced, but again, probably because they just picked up our speech. Maybe if they were still speaking in like the dialect of the ancients and things like that. They would know all of the terms, but they don't actually know our terms, which is kind of fun. Oh, hey! That must have been earth aspected ether, because here we've got red for fire, and we have a bunch of different kind of fire. The Analas. Fire elemented creatures. I have a feeling the way forward is not as clear as we'd like. Could you go and take a look? Perhaps you could tell the local beasties we're not nearly as delicious as we might appear. Oh, I'll tell them. I'll bully them. We'll get this Anala. Ooh. This whole area really honestly is so creative, I guess you could say. My partner has been going a lot slower because they were doing some catch up on previous expansions, and they just got down here and I was like, what do you think? And they were like, it's really cool. It's really neat. It feels really different. And I was like, yeah, there's a lot of really, I don't know, just fun, creative little areas. Well, not so little. I mean, these are big whole zones, right, in this expansion, but I do really appreciate the change of scenery and the ideas that I think inspired a lot of these areas. I say, that fiend had a mind to feast on roasted Loporrit. Thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction Watson is worth those harrowing fiends. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if that's all the same to you. Let's get moving. That building looks nice and solid and safe. That was all very exciting, but I'd rather not do it again. Wait, how exactly were we planning to head back later? The same way. You've done well to see those two here safely. They can be a bit skittish at the best of times, so I'm pleasantly surprised they didn't run off and get themselves killed. Oh, living way, no! I couldn't help but notice a distinct lack of carrots along the way. Or maybe, or many of the other vegetables I was expecting to see. Though I did catch a glimpse of some sort of bipedal tomato charging about. Must be my imagination. My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Pray, follow me. Here we go! I can't help but wonder if they really are going to do something with the Loporrits later on the moon, where if you go up there, maybe there are people who've decided to live up there, maybe they've decided to settle it. I mean, assuming we don't just fly the moon to the planet where the nest is and then, like, never bring it back. Maybe we could we'd have to take it back, in theory, right? Unless we die, which would be very intense and very bleak. I mean, maybe beautiful, I don't know. Maybe we do die and then we go to the ethereal sea and then the future expansion and plot is just like within the ethereal plane of existence and everything is absolutely beyond imagination and completely ridiculous, and we get companions that are, again, our ancient friends who were all kind of tossed in there, or all of the characters we thought were dead in the story, because that'd be pretty amazing. I don't think they'd do that, but that'd be pretty amazing. Forgive me for asking, but are we any closer to the kitchens? Come to think of it, why am I even here? Atmospheric manipulators are hardly my area of expertise. That was terrifying, but at least the scenery was more pleasant than what's-named, Garlemald. As a first impression of Aetheres, it was far from favorable. Anyway, onwards and upwards, quite literally, as is the case here. As I understand, places like Labyrinthos are the exception, rather than the rule. You don't all build enormous underground living spaces like this, surely? Marvelous, simply marvelous. This is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created.
The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently, most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. We're all very lucky that Aetherius just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they are because of the available resources? I wonder. Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it.
They're really gonna make us go all over with these little bunnies, huh? They really gonna make us do this. They cute and I love it, but I also am itching to keep going with story and stuff.
I should like to study this primitive, yet nevertheless intriguing contraption a while longer, if I may. That the Sharlayans were able to build something of this complexity with their limited knowledge and resources is most impressive.
Oh, actually, let's talk through this real quick. Yes, okay, same thing. All right.
This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where is the food?
I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Meriol Agronomics. As I imagine Cookingway and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, wouldst thou be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian?
Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Urianger was telling me about. Even if his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention, Aetherius will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there's still time. Let us brook no further delay.
Okay, let's go learn about cooking. 'Twould appear I have inadvertently taken upon myself the more demanding duty, entertaining 3 inquisitive Loporrits to thy 1. Yet, be that as it may, it will be my pleasure to impart what little knowledge I possess to our would-be saviors. Urianger is just best dad, best teacher, good boy. He's come full circle to good boy time. It's okay if you're a little bit of a sneaky good boy, that's alright. I don't know, I just love him. I think I've come to the point now where, especially with some of the characterization that they gave him in Shadowbringers and other things like that, I feel like we really got to get a sense of who he is as a person, not just as like a plot device. Which is so nice because he has so much personality and he's so fun. The not being able to swim thing, the insisting on wearing just like loose, beautiful, flowing robes, even at the expense of freezing half to death. His over-articulate, ornate way of speaking, but also the way he delights in language, I think. Even sort of mimicking and parroting what the Loporrits say, which I love. That's so good. He's got, I always say this on stream when I describe him, he's got big Dungeon Master kind of vibes. Like, he's that friend in the friends group who would be the one who would have the meticulous thought and the nerdy world building and the passion for all of it, who would want to be your DM. And try to wrangle everybody, somehow with good humor, despite everybody constantly at every turn messing with them.
This is the place, yes? The heady aroma was enough to guide me here, and I've spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I'd dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Oh, perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they would be willing to part with a few samples.
Oh, I'm sure they would. We were already looking at it previously, right? And they were saying that a lot of the food here was just rotting on the vine, in essence.
Our gods seem unfazed by the chaos occurring around us. Oh, if only we too could live our lives as peacefully as pumpkins.
This girl's super into pumpkins. She is incredibly invested in pumpkins. Pumpkins, wheat. Aha! Here we go. YebQ will give us something. What a fun mess this is. Ah, it's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the exodus, and I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here, up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star the Forum decides will be our new home. It's all so sudden, it's so unreal.
Don't you want to go to the moon?
Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it?
Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may.
By all means, help yourself.
Much appreciated, my good fellow. So, where to begin?
Wherever you want, little buddy. Wherever you see something that looks delicious, that speaks to you. You just let me know. It looks like this is what speaks to Cookingway, and it is wine. Cookingway just becomes Wineway. Cookingway's like, you don't need food if you've got this beautiful, majestic juice of the gods.
Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes? Let's see if they are as delicious as they look. So sweet. Oh, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another.
It is kind of cute that they gave us the tour earlier, and now we're repaying the favor and giving them a tour.
Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes?
That's it! This is so important! That is them reference! I'd brave an erupting volcano for a choice bunch.
Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next treat.
Apples? Oranges!
Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first? The fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat. Yes, that's equal parts sweet and sour. As with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Urianger about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. Oh, this is all very complicated, you know. So many flavors, so many choices, and each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. But speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample. Good lord.
Today is rough for me on the reading front.
I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in that field over there.
Over here. Aha! Pumpkins! We gotta make pumpkin pie, though, for this to be any actually really delicious thing. I guess you could just kind of roast it, and it might still be okay, too.
That color. That texture. Are they some sort of enormous round carrots?
No.
No? In any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste. Ugh! Oh, it's so hard and flavorless. I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. That all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots.
Stop. Can't you see these are pumpkins? And no one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first.
Do you not find it an awful bother?
Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself, and what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. Then,
Perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I just sampled. I wonder, though, if there is anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder?
Lemons? Is he gonna do like a cat eating something sour face?
What a wonderful fragrance. With luck it'll have a flavor to match. As I've no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite into it. Oh, my tongue! Is this poison?
No, it's delicious! Did anybody else do this? I used to just eat straight up lemon slices as a kid. I still will. Like, if I'm like cooking something where they want me to like, squeeze lemon over, I'm gonna suck on the lemon afterwards, but I'm gonna say, those are the only words that I can say to describe it because I'm not eating it like an orange. But I'll just sit there and I'll suck on the lemon and it's delicious.
A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? How could something so similar to an orange be so revolting? It may be some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others.
It is kind of funny when you think about it. Honestly, I hadn't necessarily thought about it, but when you look at just the raw ingredients and you think about somebody who wouldn't be familiar with any of our types of food, the variety, the ways that we've taken even things that are dangerous to eat or would otherwise be considered inedible and then turned them into dishes, foods, signature dishes, things that are, culturally reflective, things that carry memory and all sorts of things, holiday food, special foods your family makes, like all these different things and all these different ingredients around the world. It is kind of fun actually to get to see it from the perspective of our little friends here, I guess, because it does make a lot of things that we take for granted even more precious in our world. Cookingway has yet to arrive. Oh no. Cookingway, where did you go? Did he get stuck on something? There he is. Come here, little buddy. There you go, come on. Come on, little friend. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking.
I'm rather enamored with the grapes and oranges, less so the pumpkin. Though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. Then there was the lemon, the deceiver. I still feel so violated.
First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth in more ways than one. So, I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will.
More lemon! Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this opportunity to... A bit of sick came up there. Learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin. Do your worst.
I hope he likes the lemon muffin.
This is delicious.
It is. It's amazing. Lemon poppy seed. So right, so good.
Although, I can still detect a hint of lemon. It complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking.
See, we rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes, and the same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that can even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the Forum agonized over what was worth preserving, and what will be consigned to history. Oh, hard choices. But make them we must if we're to survive.
Such strength of will. Now I know what Hydaelyn sees in your kind. Mankind, the Loporrit, We were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. 'Tis the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet, civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in a futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins!
Thank you for this deep philosophical discussion from Cookingway, the anthropomorphic rabbit. Thanks, Final Fantasy XIV. Pardon my Eosian, but what in the seven hells are you on about? And who are you, anyway?
Cookingway at your service. I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of Aetherius' species as possible, if you're up to the challenge.
Yes, of course. I look forward to it.
Well, this has all been highly productive. Probably. Let's go and see if Urianger and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we?
Goodbye, friends. What a nice little interlude we just had. Here's our little squadron. By Cookingway's broad grin, I assume your excursion was a roaring success.
Not to rub it in, but we had the most fantastic time while you were away. Urianger was able to obtain all manner of meteorological data for us to pore over.
It's hard enough to try and do an accent that sounds like it's singing, let alone also has a fancy British accent, let alone also says words like meteorological.
I'll be sure to put my newfound knowledge to good use once we return to the moon. It's my duty to make your journey as comfortable as possible, though there's no telling how long it will be. 100 years? 1,000? Probably closer to 5,000, give or take. Where have you and Cookingway been? If the two of you were engaged in pursuits of an educational nature, you should have taken me too. I am the leader, after all. Oh, there you are.
Oh, have the others finished talking about making whatsits yet? I actually made myself yawn for realsies there.
That was most enlightening, especially the part with the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine?
Ooh, oodles of noodles! Limsa Lominsa is home to the Culinarians Guild and many less than savory establishments. Probably this one. Limsa Lominsa is home to the Culinarians Guild and many less than savory establishments.
Oh, would that we had time to visit. The more I learn of Aetherius, the more I wish we could spare it from the final days. Alas, I lent orders how to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way.
We're working on it, Cookingway. We are working on it.
Muffins. I wonder if this is how Puddingway felt the first time Urianger made pudding. Though I'm not sure that actually was pudding. Come to think of it, something about it seemed a bit off.
Urianger's trying his best. It's hard to make desserts. Valka, I trust thy time at Mariol Agronomics did bear fruit? Oh, and he loves puns! You goofy dweeb, I love you! Our own efforts, too, were rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them and us for a fortnight. Alas, time is of the essence. Let us return to Sharlayan Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every Loporrit there should further questions within my power to answer arise. Urianger is gonna babysit all the Loporrits. He may be the one to die this expansion, but for not for reasons that we thought he actually would. Aww. Okay, I'm just gonna be lazy and I'm just gonna teleport there because I can. Because I've got 70 gil and I don't feel like walking. I feel bad for anybody who uses his aetherite and teleports here without realizing that it's in the middle of a pond and their feet just get soaked.
Why did I not ask Yepki how to make carrot muffins? We could have had baked goods bursting with happiness. That was ever so delightful. And with this much information, I can fine-tune the moon's environment for your people's comfort. It's surprisingly tricky to estimate the appropriate temperature settings for being so lacking in fur. The Loporrits want for activities and stimulation, but I struggle to conceive of how to busy them whilst we wait. Oh, no, there was nothing in particular I was hoping to go to. Nowhere in particular I was hoping to go to. I simply wish to see, hear, feel, and think as much as I possibly can while we're here. What does that look for? What did I say?
You know what you said, Square Enix. You know what you wrote. That was a cute little diversion.
Yes, Valka, that was indeed me verbalizing a sigh to express my emotional state. Do you want to know why? Because I saw the reconstructed environmental data for theories at Logisticon Alpha, that's why. The forest is so lovely and so leafy. Are all of your forests like that?
Yes. Yeah. The Black Shroud is quite leafy indeed. And a place of uttermost tranquility. That's the most foresty place I can think of, although the other places did also have forests.
Gasp, I say. With a star so wonderful, it comes as no surprise that you're reluctant to leave it behind. I was a fool to think otherwise, to assume that the moon was something worth being proud of. Oh, how ridiculous we must seem to you. Trying so hard, yet achieving so little.
You have achieved so much more than we ever could, you little babies. Don't even.
Not at all. Thy works are no less worthy for their uniqueness.
Who is this? I thought I heard tiny voices. I thought I heard tiny voices. Thancred. The dads are here. They'll take care of this. They co-fathered Reem together. They can handle a bunch of sad rabbits. How didst thou fare? Oh, I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations have proceeded without interruption here, despite news of the coming end. We have the forum's leadership to thank for that. That doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work, equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death. And we can hardly tell them there's no cause for concern. Perhaps not, though, aided by our goodly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden.
Me? Be of use to people? I'm honored that you would think me so capable, but I'm not sure that I'm up for the challenge.
Nevertheless, I believe in thee.
If you say so, I suppose it can't hurt to try.
I passed someone moping in the Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Perhaps you might start with him. 'Tis as good a place as any. Come.
Go cheer them up and go on walks with them. They're gonna love you. They're gonna love you like we love you. Okay. Troubled researcher. Oh no, friend.
Is this the person that was kind of muttering to themselves that we passed earlier?
How couldn't you feel better looking at these cute little rabbits?
Oh. Can I help you? It is you who would help me? Was my anxiety truly so obvious? A burden shared is a burden eased. Pray, tell us of thy troubles. Those little fellows do look like good listeners. I'm an engineer, you see, but what they say of the ship, that it's the sum of decades of Sharlayan ingenuity, that it's built with peerless, elegant technology, is all true, but... I know that none of that's a guarantee. We've never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. All the tests we've run have been on the ground. Only operational personnel and cargo will be aboard for the first voyage, but even so, if it fails us, what can we do? And if it doesn't, it could fall apart on the next flight, or the one after that. We've done everything we can to prevent that from happening, but it hardly matters. We thought the ether burner's design was flawless too, and look how that turned out. Thou art familiar with these most daunting technologies, and thus dost thou hold the power to allay his fears. Oh, I'm not sure about that, but, well... Maybe you could tell me if there are any aspects of the ship's design that you're especially worried about. Our ability to walk about and perform our tasks, for one. I've devised a means by which to employ gravity, a spatio-temporal spell, to regulate the environment. And it's drawn from astrology, that's amazing. But what if it's not strong enough? What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things as soon as we've left the star? Ah! Gravitation! Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there is not so different from down here, you see. The same rules apply, and if you consider them as part of one big cosmos rather than separate places... Look at them! What if in the future, all the little baby Loporrits were just hanging out with Sharlayans and they were like little research partner buddies? That'd be so cute. I suspect both parties shall find comfort in this conversation. Yet, if Thancred's tale be true, others still would benefit from insights born of experience. Might I prevail upon the Loporrits to attend them?
An excellent idea, if I do say so myself. There is naught we'd like more than to ease the hearts of the fine peoples of Etheres, and learn more about them while we're at it.
Precious good, adorable babies. Full glad am I to hear it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Valka, thou hast a gift for finding souls in need of succor. Pray, seek thee out the distressed and the apprehensive, and inform them that help is at hand. I shall await them here, that I might introduce each to a suitable Loporrit. This is all cute, but I am also dying inside. I'm like, come on, main story. Come on, main story. Let us get back to what we were doing. It's very cute and very precious. I'm just impatient.
Oh, I do so look forward to that. A place for every Loporrit, and every Loporrit in their place.
We are making important bonds between the Loporrits and everybody else so that in the future, even if the moon is not actually made habitable, they have a place to go, and they'll feel like they have, you know, a world of their own that they can come join. Which to me is crucial, so it is very important and we do need to do it. Anxious engineer. What am I thinking about? The medical facilities on the ship, of course. I designed them with the assistance of our sages and Cherugians, but to imagine every illness or injury that one might face in that great expanse is beyond any of us. To say nothing of the effects that living out there indefinitely might have on the body. The crew from the moon! Why did I not think of that? Go ask them. Capricious researcher, not anxious? Oh, the end of the world is nigh, yet the work goes no faster. Schedules are such temperamental things, feasible one moment, utter bullocks the next. And yet, I've never felt so alive. This one is beyond your help, only sleep can save her now. Big university mood. Oh, no, friend. Oh, by the gods, my chest is tight. Am I dying? Is this what dying feels like? Deep breaths. Let's start counting some flowers. Breathe in 5, out 5. Oh, would you pardon me? I didn't see you there. There's no cause for concern, I assure you. No cause for concern. Even though we might need to depart at any moment. And if the hull I designed buckles under the strain, the entire vessel may explode on launch, claiming countless lives and dooming all mankind, but... that is highly unlikely. Yes, highly unlikely. Highly... Our visitors can help me triple check for structural flaws, you say? Why, that would be wonderful. Oh, I'm breathing more easily already. Go ask, buddy, I understand. Panic attacks are no fun. Distracted researcher. 46 bunches of wheat in the ground, 46 bunches of wheat. Rip one out, add to the mound, 55 bunches of wheat in the... Oh! I'm not neglecting my duties, I swear. I was in need of a little break, you see, but then I found myself unable to relax at all, so I went on a walk. And then I noticed these weeds, and... pleasant conversation partners. And oh, so fuzzy! Oh, goodness me, that does sound like a much better way to relax. That one's gonna love Singing Way. That one is gonna love it. Who else do we have? And who can we go send to the rabbits? All I want to do is send myself to the next part of the story. But who can we send? Are there any? I'm sure there have to be some that are just sneakily hiding around the outskirts trying to trick me into not finding them. We'll go maybe across this way and then down, because it seems like there might be some. I don't think I've fully gone on that side yet, so we'll keep an eye out to see if anybody up here has anything, and then we'll go down around the edge. This little hamlet is adorable, though. Okay. Oh, there's somebody. Occupied administrator? How might I help you? My, what a lovely idea. I too noticed people becoming rather tense, so I rushed out to pluck some fresh and fragrant tea leaves. Now I need only track down 100 or so cups. Oh, but don't you worry, I can manage. I hope your plan to cheer everyone up goes well. This woman is doing better than you are. This woman is already proactive, she's already on it, she's already doing what she can. She's an administrator for a reason. It was not just a promotion made of convenience. I don't see anybody over here. Aha, or do I? There's one. Calm researcher. Oh, they're probably fine. Oh, let me hop over, I beg you. Let me hop over. Oh my gosh. Maybe on the mount. Yay! Worries? No, I believe I'm fine, thank you. I've been confiding in my colleagues, and it's helped a lot. I can't recommend it enough. She already has the support she needs, yay! Good job reaching out to people and taking care of your mental health. I'm proud of you, little friend. Okay, mount up. There's still more. You think we're gonna be able to go down there? I don't know, I'm curious. Skeptical researcher. Have you heard anything of what's on the moon? I have no doubt that we can make it up there, but the searching for a new star part of the plan sounds awfully vague to me. I asked the forum, but they will only tell us that our collaborators have everything under control. Okay, forgive me, but I don't feel particularly safe wandering through the sea of stars on gods know what made by gods know who. Well, we know who they are, and you can go talk to them. I don't know if it'll make you feel better or worse, but hopefully better. You mean to say that I can speak with them directly? Oh, amazing. I hope they like questions. They do. They will love it. They will eat up every single second. They will, the more you ask, the better, to be honest. Tired Gleaner, and we've got Despondent Friend over there. Okay. We gotta be getting close to finishing them. Is anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now, so my back feels like Void Sense played it as a piano. My feet and knees are drums and cymbals, too. The Gleaner seems fine if in need of a break. Okay. He crabby, but he just needs a little bit of break time. Just leave me to my misery. The form can appoint someone else. I apologize. I simply don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pilot the Ark if I'm already falling apart under the pressure? You know a starship pilot that I might speak with? Truly? Well then, there's no time to waste. They can help me prepare for this monumental task. We need 3 more! This is so many! There's not anybody in the center that we missed? There is. There's one. Irascible administrator. Not doing as well as the other administrator, I see. You! Yes, you! You idiot! Have you seen an envelope lying about? This imbecile refuses to give me the alchemical order, or the alchemic I ordered without that bloody slip of parchment. I don't want to say, okay, here's the thing. Bald is and can be beautiful, but this man does not pull bald off. He needs to rethink maybe some different fashion. A little bit something different there for the hairstyle, for the esthetician to deal with. Unless your friends have a spell to make me remember where I dropped my damned envelope, I doubt there'll be more help than you. And you've wasted enough of my time already. It would be unfortunate for all involved to inflict this man upon the Loporrits. Then let's not do that. Aha, here's somebody. I was like, maybe I didn't quite get to this corner, so... Level-headed engineer. Concerns? Nay, there's no point in worrying at this stage. It'll only make the work go that much slower. This woman seems to be coping well, and she is fine. She's had time to really figure it out here. Oh my gosh, we're still not done. There's a lot, huh? There's one. Unconcerned Gleaner. Apologies, but I am awaiting a delivery. Whatever it is, we'll have to wait. Gleaner is too busy to chat. Well, that's fine. Is there anybody outside this wall? No. Maybe down, like along this side? Because I don't think we've done this. We haven't come along this side wall. We're tucked in the back, hidden somewhere. Inside the buildings. There's one building I can go into. Temper or elemental reactor operator. No, okay. I'm just gonna check back here really fast because I want to make sure that there's not somebody like tucked behind this pillar or something. It's possible maybe there's some people up there around that building that I just haven't seen yet. One of these we can go into. But I have to remember which one it is, because I did my perusal earlier. Aha! Here! No! There's nobody in here! That makes me sad! It seems like this is, like an apothecary? Excuse me, do you have any digestives? We do stock them, but we just sold out. My apologies. Where is this? Where are the last couple people? Vex Veterinarian is not one of them. Tired Gleaner. Is it possible that you can go into the other building on the other side? No. Oh, there's one. There's two! Perfect. They just weren't appearing. They were culling. Just glaring at us, I'm guessing. My face. What's wrong with my... Oh, ah. Perhaps I am a bit tense. I was tasked with ensuring the proper fauna, and only the proper fauna, are brought with us to the moon. However, the suitability of a few species is still under debate, and I can hardly make the decision myself when I know so little about the environment up there. Including the Loporrits in our discussion is a wonderful idea. I absolutely will, thank you. Perhaps their biology itself might offer some clue as well. Only one more after this. Consult our collaborators? I suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. I'm attempting to calculate how much cargo we can consolidate into fewer trips, should the etherburner make our original estimates unfeasible. But there are simply too many variables. I feel as if my brow will turn inside out. But perhaps our lunar associates will have more insight into how much weight constitutes too much weight for our purposes. Thank you for letting me know. One more! Where is this last one hiding? Let's get Amaro. Do a big turnaround of the area. I feel like we came through here. I really think we did, so I don't know if they would be there. Maybe we didn't quite peek up at this higher up doorway completely, so maybe they could be just in front of it or just outside of it. Maybe we can check behind the big building too. There's still places to search, but we have to find out exactly where this might be. Yeah, I mean, this does look like it extends behind this, right? But that's so arduous to just stick someone back here. If that's the case, it might not be, honestly. But we'll check both sides just to be sure. They do, like I said, tend to enjoy putting people around the absolute farthest edges of some of these places. As far as I know, you can't go inside this. Maybe they're right here. Earlier, I just didn't run far enough in to actually have their little quest marker appear. Blessed assistants! Where have they gone off to at a time like this? Beg pardon, but I have not the time for idle chit-chat. I need to reconfirm the ether levels are consistent throughout the vessel's machinery, and it seems I shall have to do so single-handedly. Oh, I swear, when I find those assistants of mine. The Loporrits are willing to help. Why didn't you say so? At least they won't moan about how they checked 24 times already and haven't slept in weeks, lazy sods. Well, you do gotta make sure that your researchers are taking shifts and are able to sleep and eat, because otherwise nobody's gonna benefit and the work is more likely to have errors. So, I mean, just saying. We did it! We got all of them. Hey, oh, that's kind of cute. Okay. It is cute that they show up over here and have dialogue and that the Loporrits are on benches. That's cuter than I expected. I want to see if they have any little dialogue that pops up, because I saw some. The density, however. It's fine to admit you're scared, you know? Cookingway has been a godsend. I can look upon what we've built with clarity now. Yay, I'm glad. When you put it that way. In the long run, however, most of you won't die. Well, that's good. Valka, he said he was glad we spoke. And he thanked me. It was all worth it after all, wasn't it? Even the mistakes we made, because now we can tell them what not to do. It was, little baby. It was! Behold, Valka. Through thine efforts, word hath spread throughout Labyrinthos. Verily, to a far greater number than we anticipated. Livingway doth gather more Loporrits as we speak. I shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that new bonds of friendship might be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attentions, watch over them, I prithee. They're doing great. Everybody doing great. Proud of you, little buddies. Now, let's fix this ship and let's get on with it. Let's keep going. Cuties! So cute! This does do my soul good. For all my complaining about having to run around and gather them, it is cute to see them all together, though. Look at how much better it is when we're open about it and we let everybody freely exchange ideas and talk and share what's happening. Amazing.
Phew! Oh, finally some rest. Why, I haven't spoken so much in forever.
in the entirety of my creation and existence.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
Good. This will help energize them a little bit as they keep pushing forward.
'Twould behoove you to consult with Sleepingway. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
He's the pilot! Sleepingway is the pilot!
I'm impressed.
We are doomed.
Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
You gotta pay attention to their personalities.
After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger.
And he was like, you gotta change your clothes.
The conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial.
Thinker's like, yeah, that's my husband. Yeah.
Every page filled to the margins with knowledge.
That's why we co-parent together. Yeah, no, he's got the brains, I've got the brawn, and together. He's got the ether, I've got the gun that shoots ether. So
When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
oh, well, you can come see it for yourself and experience it for yourselves now. And if we save this place, you could have all the time in the world. Literally, in the world.
Urianger now. I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt.
What? Louis
Master
Swan?
Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget.
Moenbryda. Are we finally... Our parents. Because, right, they were sent down to work on the secret project. Oh.
There was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Urianger, it's time. You gotta talk to them about their daughter. Oh.
Yes, I am.
Oh, now it makes sense why they had us here and what was gonna happen. I was wondering, I was like...
Wilson and Moenbryda, Sharlayan's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic. And Moenbryda's parents.
I was wondering, I was like, what are they going to have us do at this point, going back into the second half of this zone? And I'd forgotten that they were down there. Oh.
It hath been some time. 'Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Moenbryda and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
Oh, he seems to be taking it better than she is.
I'll say, the nerve.
Oh.
Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where.
Oh, no. Oh.
Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Oh, did he grow up with it? It must have been close, right? They talked about how they were close.
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person.
This whole time he's thought they would be angry, upset. He failed her.
No,
Oh.
more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind.
Oh.
The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years.
I mean, without her, we wouldn't be where we are, right? She was the first huge reason we could have any leverage against the Ascians. Even in the final fight with Emmett, the only reason we could take him down was because of the discoveries she made.
She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise.
It's still just so terrible she had to die. She was too good and too
Celebrate her
beautiful.
life. You know that's what she'd want.
Oh.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you.
They could wreck me!
Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
You put your arms around her and you return that hug! You've grown so much emotionally!
I truly, truly am.
Oh.
I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings.
He's always been very articulate, but I think it's because he covers up the fact that I think what he really wants to express is so hard for him, you know?
The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Grief is really hard to deal with. If any of you have experienced a major loss, you know that. I mean, I know that. It is beyond words, you know?
Silly boy.
But you try.
We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know. We always know.
We've heard for so long how this affected him and how upset he was by it, right? But we've never seen it. And after having this
remember when you were
journey...
young. How the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others.
But especially after him having his moment on the moon and all these other things that have happened and seeing him open up and getting to know him more in Shadowbringers and yeah, he's a huge nerd and that's okay. He can choose the company of books and others.
Didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping.
Of course she did, because she was too good for us.
Scolded her.
Just too good. We
So
didn't...
we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while. Arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better.
Let me just say, some of you, if you've hung out with me live on Twitch or on stream before, you know that I'm infamous for asking people all kinds of questions, and I genuinely want to know the answer to everything, and it's all because of that. Like, maybe that's why I loved Moenbryda so much. Maybe that's why I love Vina. I don't know. I'm the kind of personality type that likes to be that bridge for other people. I mean, even my partner, who's very, very, very an introvert, very shy. It's funny because people always say, like, it's funny that you two ended up together. You seem so different, but at the same time, we can see how you complement each other. But that goes for a lot of my friends, too, who are also people who struggle with their own anxieties or shyness or things like that. And I do, too. Like, I'm kind of like an extrovert introvert in that I can expend a monumental amount of extroverted energy, but then I'll hit a wall where like I have to just full on shut down, you know, get my cup of tea, bundle up, be a house goblin, not talk to anybody for like 3 days, and then I'm good to go again. But it's hard when you are an incredible, amazing person, but you just don't know how to reach out to others, and having somebody in your life that can do that, whoever it is such an incredible thing. And if I can ever do that on stream, or if I can get to know you, to understand people better, it's just, it's so important. All it takes sometimes is one question to get to know someone that much more, which is something I try and remind everybody about. I get asked so much, how do you connect with people in game or in other places? And it's like, take an interest in others. Put yourself out there, but also, you know, be aware of them and try to build that bridge. Sorry, I went off on a long tangent, but I really love this line, and I really love this retrospective on her. I just wish she could have been one of the Scions, really, truly, you know? It feels like she was taken too soon.
I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
Not annoying, she's perfect.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
I'm so proud too!
To see the boy our daughter trusted and believed in more than anyone.
Why are they doing this to me?
The man she always knew he could.
Why are they doing this to me?
I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger, for being who you are.
I thought this was just a distraction, and now they're making me ugly cry. The setup was worth it to watch Urianger have to face his emotions and be appreciated.
I think I can feel her too.
Oh my god, why?
The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
That line really got me. Sorry. You don't need to apologize. None of us need to apologize for feelings. I talked a little bit about grief and how it's hard to discuss, you know? There were a lot of conflicting feelings after I lost my dad. And many of us have those kinds of feelings if you've been through that. And again, if you haven't, it's so important to listen and let people talk about these things, or to share if and when you do, because gosh, it's so important to be vulnerable with people and to share these things, because again, we all resonate with the same experiences. Sometimes we're just too afraid to talk about them, but there was so much conflict, and my dad had made some poor decisions in his life, but he'd always been somebody I loved so dearly, and to hear those words, what you're left with is the truth of their life. And all the good things and good memories that I've held on to in recent years. Just, it hits ya. That one really, really got me. For really personal reasons, you know? You can tell, maybe whoever, if this was Ishikawa or somebody else, I can't help but wonder if they went through some loss that was similar, because it's so easy to do platitudes about this kind of thing, like, they will never leave you! But there's just like a different phrasing, it's hard to explain. And I feel like this scene hit it, you know? It's not like they're really there, but that truth of what they've left you is. I guess the small answers they gave you are still with you. On what meaning they had in your life, and what meaning they gave you.
This Moenbryda, important to him, wasn't she?
Yes, Living Way. Yes, you small
You could
rat.
ask the man himself.
He'll tell you about it now, probably. He's good at talking, he's better at it.
No. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world. And its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
We got to save it, everybody. I mean, it's a hero story, so I'm guessing we probably do. But they have made the stakes feel real. They have made them feel so real. Whew, I'm gonna compose myself. Give me 1 second. And the magic of cameras.